it's always a little hard, but it's fun to sit in with these really big gaming companies and think about the future and think about what their vision is and what's their user acquisition vision.
I'm Peggy and Salz. This is Gamescom, but actually I'm in the Xsolla Clubhouse. How cool is that, Travis, to have your own space, all the signage outside. Something is exciting at Xsolla. I can imagine what. Probably because it's all about commerce. It's all about publishers understanding what they can do, that they have the power to be a mini mall, sort of. Exactly. So you have developer partnerships. That's in what you're doing. But you weren't in that as a developer. So you've gone full circle. So tell me about that. We got Tapjoy, we have Peanut Labs, you were born to reward, right?
Yes, I've been in the space for over 10 years now, helping game studios figure out how to do monetization and how to increase the LTV of their users by giving out currency and helping them engage more.
But you also watched it evolve. I mean, I'd like to go back there because you've been doing it for 10 years. Let's go back a little bit to that, because to understand where we are and where we're going, it's helpful to know where we were. And it has evolved, because before it wasn't like one of the mix, but now last 2-ish years, explosion. So what? Emails, cold calls to you saying, what is this? What is this stuff? How do I get in on it? It's a different world.
There was a time period that wasn't too long ago where rewarded advertising had a certain connotation to it.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think there were a lot of studios and developers that were scared to utilize it as a UA channel and also as a monetization option. But I think that you're continuing to see in the overall space that like having an Offerwall and having rewarded monetization is a strong strategy as part of your ad mix, right? Like, we know who purchasers are. We know that percentage. And the data has shown over the years that next like 20 to 30% of users who are really highly engaged but aren't pulling out their credit card really do, they want something so that they can get virtual currencies. And Offerwalls have really shown that like what you end up doing is you turn them into a purchaser, right? Like Offerwall is ultimately like a proxy for payment, right? And so it made a lot of sense.
Well, it sort of primes them for it too, right?
Absolutely, because they get...
You're in that space. It's like, okay, I've got this offer, which means, I'm halfway there. If you get the right sort of offer, you say, get a subscription to a service, like you're working with Paramount. You know, I mean, you can totally see that connection.
Absolutely.
But also for the publishers. However, since you're working with them, I'm just wondering, because I talk with a lot of publishers, and they're like, brands are coming. This is very cool. This is going to happen, and there's a fit, and there's even tools out there now that try to say, okay, you've got this type of audience, so you'll be a great fit with this type of brand, right? So there's like this matchmaking and this thinking. But what about being brand ready? What does that mean for a publisher? Because before it was just a little bit of data hygiene.
Of course.
Now I think it's much more than that. And I think there's something to tell publishers about how they can make themselves ready for these deals, to have that offerall with a brand or with other partners 100%. in the other ecosystem, because it doesn't only have to be a game. A game for a game, they don't like that name, right? Not usually, anyway.
I think it all comes down to segmentation, right? Like, and understanding your user audiences and not creating these like very broad buckets, because users are completely different. You shouldn't just be doing age demographics, right? Like, there's so much more to dig into that. And with that segmentation gives you the ability to create gamified experiences and to really create a unique experience that's different for me and you within the same game, right? And I continue to think that the space and the people that are brand ready are people that are doing that segmentation and then matching and understanding how to get like Offerwall in front of a certain user, or get a specific ad in front of a user, knowing that like that's going to be something that's actually going to elevate their experience. It's not going to be a hindrance because it's like in their way. It's going to be like, oh, I actually am interested in this brand, right? So I'm really excited as we continue to think more about data and have studios that are really starting to do some heavy levels of segmentation, you're going to create better experiences ultimately.
I think also the good news is that early on it was like, well, I'm not a big studio and I don't have a big audience. This is not for me. But I'm talking to more in the mid-size range, and they're like, you know what? I'm a sort of niche game, and I know my segments, I know my player types. So this is open to companies that aren't the blockbuster titles.
Sure.
I think that's a big message here.
Totally. Sarah touched on it, and I thought it was a great point, is like these niche audiences, especially in countries like Korea, where you can have this like smaller K-pop game or some of these like love story games, and the audience is so engaged.
Dedicated.
I know they are playing these games, and you look
Absolutely.
at the data and you're going, they're playing this game 6 to 8 hours a day. Like they're living in that world to some degree, right? In that digital world, in that experience. And that is, again, exciting to be able to create unique experiences for those people.
And you have to think about the range of experiences because, publishers, I think they're understanding that, yes, there was that idea. You can go after the whales. I'm not going to stop you.
Of course.
Try, but that's still going to be just such a small percentage. What do you do with everybody else?
Yes.
And that's where we come into the hybridization and different monetization approaches. But, this is very much part of that mix. Why not have more offers? It's like literally, if you're going to be in business for yourself in a sense that you are like a mini shopping mall, right? Then you have different offers for different types of customers.
Absolutely.
And the same thing for players.
Absolutely. I think we've seen with rewarded advertising over the years that we are really good with dolphins, right?
And minnows matter, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
And you want these fish to grow, right?
Yeah.
You want them to become bigger fish. And by doing that, you have to give them an opportunity to grow, right? And
you're cultivating your customers. Is what you're doing.
Absolutely.
You have to, there's a little bit of education there. And what about the education of the publishers? You're working with them. I mean, is there the feeling that like if you had to give them a rate card where they are on the scale right now and in understanding what is so special about a brand partnership and why to go after one? Because it used to be like this discussion about, the CPMs, it's not about that.
Yes.
It's not about that.
It's not always about that, but obviously that is an important part.
I get it. I get it. Get it.
But yeah, I think you are seeing publishers, it goes back to, for a long time, people were scared about integrating rewarded advertising. And now you're starting to see that it does elevate the experience so much that you're seeing big brands on the advertising side get involved. And now you're starting to see these like really big brands that are interested in ultimately advertising. And so this is another channel for them to kind of have some connections to some very large brands. And so it's not, it is important to obviously hit the eCPMs. Everybody wants to know what that is. But I think the Offerwall space, and it's crazy to say here in year 12, 13, is like actually finally getting to a place where people
gone around.
Yes, like people are interested in it. We're talking to bigger brands than we ever have on the game side and on the traditional brand side. And people are excited about Offerwall, which is crazy to say. And we have a really good opportunity here at Xsolla to actually create even a bigger rewarding experience with our web shops and cloud gaming and social quests and wallets. Like, I think we have an opportunity to really create something
a massive portfolio.
Bigger. Yes.
Help me understand how that would work together for a publisher. Because you look at the parts, and I see, and there's like a ton of releases. I'm getting an inbox full. Oh, we did this, we released that, we're doing that, we partner with that.
Yes.
And there's a lot going on. But help me put all of that together into something that a publisher can see the pathway.
Yeah.
Because that's what you're building. You're building a pathway, a different pathway to purchase. There we go.
Absolutely.
A different path to purchase.
I like that.
I do like that, actually. I'll let you have it, but I'm going to use it too. I'm going to use it too. But that's what you're building, so help me understand that.
Yeah, so like obviously Xsolla is a payments company at the core. That is, our biggest brand. With some of the changes that have happened with iOS over the last year, which is probably one of the bigger things that's happened in our space.
Oh, yeah.
Webshops has obviously become very popular, right?
Very.
You are arming developers with the ability to make as much money as possible and make sure that that is being reinvested into their studio so that they can do user acquisition, build new games, create IPs, which we need in this space, right? We need new IPs. We need games to continue to build, and that's ultimately what we're doing. And now having Xsolla as an advertising company as well, and bringing Offerwall into that web shop space, we're building a pathway to a place where you can have it all very simply with one integration, right? And so you can have payments, and then you can have offers for the people that aren't paying, and you can have web shops that you're making sure that you're getting the most out of that as well. So I'm very excited about the opportunity we have here at Xsolla because we're not just an Offerwall company, right? We're much bigger than that.
That's it. Because there are companies that they're only Offerwall or primarily, and they're like, hey, this is really flying. It's yeah, but when I was thinking about this and reading some of the recent press releases and announcements, I was thinking it's a little bit like having a shop and saying, like, we started out by saying, here, have a shop. And they're like, hey, I'm a publisher. Thank you very much for this opportunity to control my destiny, but what do I put in it? And how do I do this? And I thought, it's like, those little shops where you would give people the display.
Totally.
So they can put it out there and have like something attractive in the aisle.
Absolutely.
Because just because you give them a showroom or a shop floor doesn't do it. There's a lot more that goes into it.
Well, let us be your designers. Let us be your architect. Like, let us help you.
Well, people designed supermarkets, right? So people would go down the aisle and do it's the same thing.
Well, think about it. Like, you couldn't have a supermarket that just had one aisle. How would you ever find what you need?
Exactly.
So you need to design things a specific way so that, again, a segmented user can find what they're looking for, right?
So it's the job of the publisher to think about knowing their audience best and improving that. So improve segmentation, really understand your audience. Once you understand your audience, then it's limitless. I can create a shop that they will love, or I can work with a brand that they will love, or I can do a little bit of both.
I totally agree. It's all about knowing your user, right? And then utilizing tools to help that user, again, get the best experience possible. I think for a long time, people thought of some of these like rewarded advertising solutions as a way to ultimately bring users. Again, I think this goes back to
the word trap.
Yeah, exactly.
Trap their users.
Yeah, exactly.
Into
it's
playing games that they don't like themselves.
Exactly. And we are a unique industry where we show other games to monetize our own game, but I think you're starting to see more and more advertisers just really see the value and what it can bring. So we're having conversations with brands, the biggest console brands in the world that are now starting to be like, well, wait a second, like, because I think mobile monetization has been here for a while, but now we're starting to hear like, well, what about Steam monetization? Like, what about console monetization? Can we utilize QR codes to pull somebody into a web experience where they can be earning currency? So the space is starting to grow even into some other operating systems, which I think is really exciting because it kind of reminds me of mobile all over again, right? Is people were saying, kind of breaking free a little bit of iOS and saying, I need to monetize. And now I think you're seeing that with some bigger studios across even their bigger titles.
So let's look under the hood a little bit. I mean, is that something that where you're looking at that future as well and building to that future, or is it just something that we're having fun talking about?
No, we're absolutely building to that future.
What is the vision of Xsolla?
What is the vision? I can speak what the vision is for what we're calling our Quest platform, which is Offerwall I think of as the engine that powers that. We are playing with some really unique ideas where we're thinking about social questing, right? Like there is a lot of people that are now trying to drive users to Discord. There's a lot of people that are trying to drive users into creating social footage through YouTube or through TikTok, or because that extends their brand, right? This is marketing. When something goes viral,
you want to equip your advocates. Absolutely. And we're hearing it. I mean, every time now when you go to the events, they're saying, know your audience, build your community. That's your job as a publisher. So there you can create the incentives and the motivation and the excitement to say, okay, this is what we want you to be doing?
Yeah. I think that Offerwall has been around for a long time.
Yeah.
And I think there's a big opportunity to continue to create some new ad units and some new ways for people to be, one thing that I'm excited about personally is I think that cloud gaming could actually become the next playables.
Ooh.
So yes, I know it's a big, but like playables right now aren't a great experience traditionally. They can be,
true.
sometimes they're not really the experience of the game. Sometimes it's a drag and drop and, you're sliding the solitaire cards across the board. But I truly think that as cloud gaming continues to scale, there could be an opportunity where that becomes, what if you could pop on your phone and play 15 minutes of a game and then determine like, hey, actually, I want to buy this game. I'm really enjoying this experience. And so we're playing with some interesting things behind closed doors and thinking about what is the future of Offerwall, right? Like we know what the past has been the last 10 years and it does well and it monetizes well. But what's next, right? Yeah.
You can see it. It's try and buy on steroids is what it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was at dinner yesterday and there was someone from Korea showing me what he was doing with cloud gaming.
Yeah.
And it was like, that is astounding. And it's just like this little tidbit, this little piece of a game. And it was like, this looks
incredible.
Like the game.
Yeah. You're playing AAA titles on your phone.
Yes, you are.
And it moves and there's not as much latency as people expect. Yeah,
it's like real.
I know. We're getting there. Yeah.
So I can see this all coming together, absolutely. And I mean, it's natural as well in the other direction with the physical world. I mean, it's merch, right?
Of course.
It's experiences.
Of course.
So we're excited about the future. What would you say to publishers now who are maybe on the fence or thinking about this? Because it's a resource question at the end of the day. I talk to a lot of publishers. I mean, like, one a day in my work. And they're like, yeah, I'm really excited about this, but I don't have a team. I've got my team, they're over here training. They're over here doing AI prompt, and trying to figure that stuff out. I mean, there just isn't that team there for it. So what's the answer to that when they say, I'm really excited, but I don't have the resources?
Yeah. So what we're doing at Xsolla, which I'm excited about, is we are bundling our products together so that one integration can support numerous things. Exactly.
Okay, so one to rule them all.
Yes.
Okay.
So if you integrate Webshop, for example, you can integrate Offerwall with 2 clicks. Like you don't have to then go through another SDK integration of putting this Offerwall in. So we're giving people the opportunity to get numerous things with one integration and create, ultimately, like I said, like a rewards hub where users can talk to this user who's a purchaser and also talk to this user who is still trying to figure out if the virtual currency and the elevated experience is for them.
And the payments as the engine means that that's covered, because we know there are companies that do all of these.
Yes.
But it's like anything, do I want to deal with that many companies? It's like in the early days of the DSPs. How many DSPs do you want? You want 7, 14? Then we got down to 4.
4, I was going to say.
Yeah. I remember it was like, how many, I remember in the day, more partners is better. Let's have, as many as you can. And then you start to manage it. You say no. So I can see that when it all comes together, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, we talk about it internally that we're ultimately trying to do all the things. Like we're trying to support game studios so they don't have to have an ads team and this team. Like we're trying to support so that one integration or one partnership with us can support numerous things for you.
And then you also don't have fragmented data as well, because data coming out of this is what informs how you shape that experience.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So very exciting. Guess you're really happy that it went full circle. For a while there, it probably looked like we were all losing our way.
Yes.
Or we were doing something completely wrong, or just wasn't going to happen. But here we go. It's the second time around. They always say, what is it? The second time around? It's better the second time around.
Yeah. So we're definitely coming back around and seeing more interest in Offerwall than ever before, which is making my job really fun, right? Because
I was gonna say making it easy.
It's always a little hard, but it's fun to sit in with these really big gaming companies and and think about the future and think about what their vision is and what's their user acquisition vision, what's their monetization vision, what's their payments vision, and can we create solutions that do it all for them?
Because part of their vision, and I'm hearing it so much more, is be a brand themselves.
Absolutely.
Yeah, be a brand themselves.
Absolutely.
And, to be a brand, to be a successful company, it's like, have to be easy to do business with.
Yes.
Right? And that's part of it. And then they want to go out with brands. So brands with brands, it all makes a lot of sense.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, then you have a very rewarding time
Nice.
ahead, may I say.
Very good.
May I say, Travis. And it was a joy to understand that vision. Now when you see the pieces come together, now you start to really get excited about the future.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're excited about the future here.
It's beyond gaming and inside gaming. It's exciting. So yes, thank you for an exciting conversation.
Thank you so much, Peggy.